It's safer to skies. For every beer that ever there was, we'll get it in for certain because the day is the day the teddy bears have a picnic. Make time for teddy bears. The little teddy bears are having a lovely time today. Watch them, catch them on the waves to see them picnic on their holidays. See them gaily about, they love to shut and any cares. At 6 o'clock, their mommies and daddies will take them home to bed, 'cause they're tired little teddy bears. If you go out in the woods today, you better not go alone. It's lovely out in the woods today, it's different to stay at home. For every beer that ever there was, we'll gather there for certain because the day is the day the teddy bears have their picnic.
That Anna's birthday is this week and she will be 5, so let's wish her a happy birthday.
And now we have another talented young person. We have Chantel Sapiorsky singing the Color Song. I want to make sure I get all the names right. Elizabeth Dudak, Carly Vanderweel, Shayla Brendel, and Fred Kendall Frank in a cheerleading routine. Not just a cheer or two, several cheers. And they've been working on this very hard, so we're going to enjoy watching them do some cheers for us. These are 3rd and 4th graders.
you are.
Alligator, alligator, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Alligator, alligator, chomp, chomp. Alligator, alligator, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Alligator, alligator, chomp, chomp. We're from St. Paul's, couldn't be prouder. If you can't hear us, yell a little louder. We're from St. Paul's, couldn't be prouder. If you can't hear us, yell a little louder. We're from St. Paul's, couldn't be prouder. If you can't hear us, yell a little louder. Say St. Paul, you say Spartans. St. Paul,
Spartans.
St. Paul,
Spartans.
We say green, you say gold. Green,
Gold.
green,
Gold.
We say spirit, you say got it. Spirit,
Got it.
spirit,
Got it.
We say number, you say one. Number,
One.
number,
One.
St. Paul, Spartans. Green,
Gold.
spirit,
Got it.
number,
One.
number one.
Now we have a very unusual event for you. All of us have struggled with our children's homework, but not like this. This comedy routine is called Jorduck's Homework Dilemma, and it features Jordan and Dave Eckhart. Jordan is in 3rd grade. 4th grade, forgive me, Jordan, I know perfectly well you're in 4th grade.
Daddy Duck is busy reading the paper, waiting for his son, Jorduck, to get home from school. He's very excited as the Mighty Ducks have won the hockey championship. When Jorduck arrives home, he is ready for a game of Duck, Duck, Goose with his friends. But his dad wants to make sure his homework is all done first. Of course, Jorduck doesn't remember he has homework. He's ready to go out and play. Of course, Daddy Duck wants to make sure, so he checks Jorduck's book bag and finds some homework in hopes of avoiding the inevitable Jorduck claims amnesia. Daddy Duck decides he should call Jorduck's teacher, Ronald Duck, to get the real story.
Yes, we should have a homework sheet for our tasty worms test tomorrow. Boy, that guy's hard to understand.
Daddy Duck was about to turn and yell at his son, but paused. He thought, what has yelling ever done other than give me a headache from all that head shaking? He started talking to Jorduck, some help with his homework in a gentler way. So all was much more enjoyable at the docks without all that yelling. I want to be like you. I want to crack like you and do my homework too.
War on the home front, people. Are you all squared away? You want to get ready because right after this next number we'll be doing ours. So, I don't know what you're doing. Okay. Our next group is three girls who are going to do a wonderful song for us. They're all fifth graders. Allison Schmidt, Ashlyn Brandel, and Brenna Eckhart are going to do Heaven is a Wonderful Place.
Heaven is a wonderful place filled with glory and grace. I want to see my Savior's face. Heaven is a wonderful place. Heaven is a wonderful place filled with glory and grace. I want to see my Savior's face. Heaven is a wonderful place. Heaven is a wonderful place filled with glory and grace. I want to see my Savior's face. Heaven is a wonderful place. Heaven is a wonderful place. Filled with glory and grace. I want to see my Savior's face. Heaven is a wonderful place.
We have three fourth graders and two seventh graders and a fifth grader, Kendall Frank, Emily Blewett, Kaylee Meyer, Erin Schmitz, Amber Akright, and Audrey Thurman, who are all in the interim drama program. And they did a skit called War on the Home Front. And while they're just finishing setting up for that, let me just mention to you. I'll try not to hate this mic. Let me just tell you a little bit about what this story is about. It actually comes from the American Girl series. There we go. Comes from the American Girl series, and it is written by Valerie Tripp. We're doing it as a reader's theater, which means that we will read from a script. And the story is about sisters who squabble. Well, I'm sure all of you have heard of sisters who squabble. Maybe you even have one that you squabble with. Even during World War II, sisters sometimes didn't get along with each other. And Halloween in this story causes some problems between the sisters when teasing starts a family battle in War on the Home Front in our Reader's Theater.
I wish you hadn't bragged about our Halloween costumes, Mom. I didn't brag, I just said they were a secret. Yeah, well, they're a secret to us, too. Halloween is tomorrow, and we don't even know what we're going to be yet. And it's going to be tough this year. Most of Halloween costumes are hard to get because of the war. Don't worry, we'll think of something. Like what? Well, how about the two stepsisters? Ooh, Cinderella. It's to be Cinderella. We don't have to decide that right away. Let's wait and see who has the best ball dress. And that's the one who will be Cinderella. The other two will be stepsisters. I don't think that's fair. Who wants to be an ugly stepsister? I think Cinderella is a good idea. What dress would you wear, Mommy? Well, I'd have a crown with shiny silver stars on my head. The top of the dress would be made of fluffy white angora. The skirt would be long and floaty. It would be made of pink silk with silver stars to match the front. And I'd have tiny glass slippers on my feet. Of course.
Gosh, Molly, your costume sounds great, but does it really exist? I mean, do you actually have it?
Well, no, not yet.
Because, well, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think anybody could get glass slippers or materials like angora and silk before.
But if I could,
Even if you could, it would be wrong to use materials or something impractical in a Halloween costume. It would be unpatriotic and unsafe. I bet your mom would think this is war work for the rest of us making balls up.
I guess you're right. I guess we'll have to forget about Cinderella until after the war.
Anyway, it would be more fun if we were all exactly the same thing, like the Three Musketeers or the Three Blind Mice.
You'd be perfect as the 3 little pigs. Or you could be the 3 bears. How about the 3 stooges? Or the 3 kings of Orient?
That's enough, Roxy.
How come Roxy stopped teasing us? Who is she showing off for?
I don't see anyone but Jake and his new friend Derek.
Gosh, Derek is sure cute. He looks like a movie star.
Hi, Derek. Hi, Roxy.
Roxy has a crush on Derek.
I do not.
Roxy and Derek up in a tree. Kissing. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes Roxy with a baby carriage.
Cut it out.
Roxy has a crush. Roxy loves Derek. Hi, Derek. Ew.
You'll be sorry. You'll pay for this. I'll get you.
Gee, she really sounds mad.
Well, she started it. She wouldn't stop teasing us. Come on, I think my mom is home. Let's go ask her if she has any ideas for a costume.
Oh, will this teasing start a family battle? Sounds like Roxy wants revenge. Will there be a war on the home front? It's getting to be the end of Halloween now. Linda and Susan and Molly were dressed in hula skirts, flowers, and lace as Hawaiian girls. They will be bringing bags of Halloween treats that they've collected all evening. Their mothers helped them make the Halloween Hawaiian costumes, and they look alike. But Halloween isn't over yet.
This was a wonderful Halloween.
Your mom's idea about being hula dancers was great. Everybody loves our costumes. Well, I think these costumes are so beautiful. We should be really careful and save them. Then we can use them again next year.
Yes, they are good costumes. Maybe we should save them for next year. But now I guess we'd better go in. I'm sorry Halloween is over. It was such a wonderful...
Stop the water!
Stop my costume! Stop!
The water stops, but Molly, Linda, and Susan are dripping wet. Their costumes are in shreds. Their treats are scattered everywhere in soggy lumps.
Ruin, my costume is completely wrecked by this water. Who would splash us with a bucket like that? Who did this?
I see London. I see France. I can see your...
Roxy, I'll get you for this. You ruined our costumes with that bucket. You'll be sorry. You wait. You'll be really sorry.
That mean old Roxy. Look at us. I'm sopping wet. I know Roxy's mad at didn't know she was that mad. Are you gonna tell your mom? No, I'm not a tattletale. Besides, she'll be too easy on her. We'll have to fix Roxy ourselves. We've got to teach her a lesson she'll never forget. How? I don't know, but I'll think of something to make her really sorry. Molly, what on earth happened to your costumes and your bag of treats? Well, Mom, they got wet. Well, I can see that. How did they get wet? By a bucket, Roxy. We walked into a bucket of water by mistake. Who would have a bucket of water out on a windy Halloween night? Just someone. Molly McIntyre, I have a distinct feeling that I have not been told the whole truth. Roxy, come here. Perhaps you can tell us what happened, Roxy.
Me? I mean,
Go on, Roxy.
well, it was just a joke, Mom. Just a joke on the other girls. You know, a Halloween joke, trick or treat.
A mean trick. What did you do?
I just got a little water on the costumes.
Oh, little water? You splashed tons and tons of water all over us, Roxy. You splashed us with a bucket. We ruined our costumes and all our treats. Is that true? Yes. Roxy.
Yes, ma'am.
Roxy, that was a very mean thing to do. I'm ashamed of you treating your sister and her friends that way. You are to apologize to these girls. Then you are to give your bag of Halloween treats to Linda, Molly, and Susan to share. You may keep one treat and one for yourself. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead. All right, let's quit. No more fighting. You were right, Molly. Your mom was way too easy on Roxy. Yeah, Roxy wrecked our Halloween and she's hardly suffering at all. Well, we'll just have to think up a plan to make Roxy really suffer. This is war! We could disguise our voices and call her on the telephone. We could pretend we're her teacher and say that she has to dance with people every day next week to be bad. No, that's no good. It doesn't embarrass her in front of anybody. We have to really embarrass her in front of lots of people. Or someone she'd hate to be embarrassed in front of. Like Mom or Derek. Yes, that's it. Embarrass her in front of Derek. But how? She can't spread her bucket so that her underwear shows. Wait a minute. Derek, underwear. I think I have a plan. But all three of us have to cooperate, or it won't work. We'll cooperate. We'll do it. Good. Okay, let's see. Linda, you distract Mom. Keep her inside. Susan, you come inside with me. When I give you the signal, tell Derek his girlfriend wants to see him outside.
Hi, Roxy.
Hi, Derek.
Molly and Susan yell as loud as they can. They fling everything in the basket onto Derek and Roxy. Underwear, t-shirts, and socks fill the air.
I believe this underwear belongs to you. Sort of a childish joke, don't you think? But
There's your Halloween tree. Trick or treat.
You did this. I'll get you. You'll be sorry. This is really war. Ow.
Molly, Roxy, come here. I suppose these tricks you played on each other don't seem very serious to you, but they are mean, childish, and wasteful. I'm disappointed in you. But more than that, I'm sad and discouraged. If we can't get along together, who can? This fighting has to stop. This is exactly what starts war. This meanness, anger, and revenge. Two sides decide to get even and end up hurting everyone. I won't have any more of it in this house. Is that understood? All right. Until there are no more tricks in this house, there will be no more treats. Roxy, you will spend the day breaking the yarn. Make sure you clean up the mess you made last night. Molly, you and your friends will spend the day doing Roxy's laundry. I want everything washed, hung out to dry, folded, put away. That's it. Get to work.
Roxy, give me your underwear, your things. Okay, here, I think that's all of them. Okay, thanks. Listen, we didn't want to keep fighting with you. Exactly. I'm sorry.
We were just mad and the fight kept getting bigger and bigger.
We only wanted to embarrass you. We shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. I really am.
Me too.
It's okay. I guess I deserved it. I'm sorry. Your trick was mean, but you know, it was funny too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad not to be fighting against you anymore. You three are pretty good at ideas, even if you are a bunch of triple dibs. I guess it's better to be on your side than to be your enemy.
Thanks, Roxy. I'm glad our war is over. I think it was much better to be friends.
You know what? With all that laundry, you look like Cinderella before the ball.
Yeah, that's right. So it seems like I sort of had to be Cinderella for Halloween after all.
Thank you very much for being patient with us. Welcome to the 5th grade Pirates.
We have had some problems with our pirates. We started out with 10 pirates, and as you can see, we've shrunk. But that's okay because we're pirates and we can do it. Our first song will be a song about a terrible storm at sea. Was Friday morn when we set sail, and we were not far from the land, when the captain he spied a lovely mermaid with a comb and a glass in her hand, and the ocean waves will roll, and the stormy winds will blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top, and the landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the captain of our gallant ship, and a well-spoken man was he. I have me a wife in Salem by the sea, and tonight she a widow will be. For the ocean's waves will roll, and the stormy winds will blow, and we poor sailors will skip into the top, and the landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the cookie of our gallant ship, and a greasy old butcher was he. He say, I care much more for my pots and my pans than I do for the bottom of the sea. For the ocean waves will roll, and the stormy winds will blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top, and the landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the cabin boy of our gallant ship, and a nasty little lad was he. I'm not quite sure I can spell mermaid, but I'm going to the bottom of the sea. Oh, the ocean waves will roll, and the stormy winds will blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top, and the landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Okay. The story isn't ended. Some of our people remembered it, even though I didn't. So now we will tell you the tragic end to the song. Then 3 times around went our gallant ship, and 3 times around went she. 3 times around went our gallant ship, and she sank to the bottom of the sea. Oh, the ocean waves will roll, and the stormy winds will blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top, and the landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Now, we didn't have as much time to learn this next one, but I think all of you kids especially will really, really enjoy this. Since we are short, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 people, this may not sound quite the way we need it to, but if any of you remember the words, you can help. Here we go. Everybody see okay? Okay, here we go. Let's start a little bit higher. We are the pirates who don't do anything. We just stay home for night around. And if you ask us to do anything, we just tell you we don't do anything. Well, I've never been to New York St. Paul, and I've never been to Moscow, and I've never been to Tampa, and I've never been to Boston in the fall. And I've never raced and I've never swapped and I've never veered starboard cause I never sail at all. And I've never watched a airplane and I've never rode a train. And I've never been to Boston in the fall. Well, I never thought to listen and not to get a thing. And I've never turned my head and I've never tasted too much. And I've never had tacos. And I've never been to Boston in the fall. And I've never left the spark plug, and I've never sniffed a stink bug, and I've never painted daisies on a big red rubber ball, and I've never bathed yogurt, and I don't look good in leggings. And we've never been to Boston in the fall. We are the pirates who don't do anything. We If you ask us, do you do anything? We'll just tell you, we don't do anything.
My heart will go on. Andy Pritchard, and he's doing this from memory, which is quite a challenge. But it sounds pretty interesting because the name of it is Jesus' Brother Bob.
This is like an acapella service music, and it's not degrading. If you haven't heard of me, I wouldn't be surprised. I bet you know my relatives. Their names will never die. My mother is a saint, and my brother is a god. But all I am is Jesus' brother Bob. Jesus' brother Bob. Jesus' brother Bob. A nobody relative of the synagogue. If only I'd been born just a little sooner, I'd be more than the brother of thy junior. I have to pay the ferry to cross the Galilee, but not my brother, no, not him. He walks across for free. I finally get to work about 9:15, and already he's He's turning water into wine. Jesus, Brother Bob, Jesus, Brother Bob, a nobody relative of the synagogue. If only I'd been born just a little sooner, I'd be more than the brother of thy junior. One day when I was home, I heard a mighty roar. There were about 1,000 people right outside the door.
Help us, Jesus, help us.
Came the cheering from the mob. But fans, they gotta look at me. I'm not this only Bob. Jesus, Brother Bob, Jesus, Brother Bob, a nobody relative of the synagogue. If only I'd been born just a little sooner, I'd be more than the brother of thy junior. He died upon the cross. I thought that I was free. Finally, people would get to know me for me. I do today. This was my big chance to finally get ahead. The next thing you know, he's rising from the dead. Oh, Jesus, Brother Bob, Jesus, Brother Bob, a nobody relative of the synagogue. If only I'd been born just a little sooner, I'd be more than the brother of thy junior. Jesus, Brother Bob, Jesus, Brother Bob, a nobody relative of the synagogue. If only I'd been born just a little sooner, I'd be more than the brother of thy junior.
Canon in D, one of my favorites. Katie Hillwood, 8th grade.
You better hurry.
We plan on teaching you the real history of the world, the Valley Girl history of the world, from creation to life, the birth of Christ. What have you learned in religion this year?
Okay. So here's how the world began. In the beginning, some people think the earth was made with this big bang. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. The Bible says God just said it. So it happened. So I guess it was more like the big mouth. Can you imagine making something happen just by talking? I'm like, That is so cool. I could do like so much every day. I wonder if it would work on housework and stuff like that. I'm all like, let my room be clean. Or let the dishes be put away. Reality check. Anyway, God made the world. It took, like maybe a week, and then God was all, this is so tiny. So then there was this whole deal with like Adam and Eve and the apple and anything in the garden. And God is all like, you have sinned. You are banished from the garden. And Eve must have been like, well, whatever. I'm going shopping for some clothes. I don't have a thing to say. Well, I don't know, but that's what I would.
So then, Adam and Eve, like they had a bunch of rugrats, and then the rugrats had rugrats, and and then anyway, you got there, and there was like this whole bunch of people on Earth, and they were like all screwed up, except for this one guy, like Noah, and he thought God was like totally tight, even though he did not make Noah build this humongous boat in the middle of nowhere, but everybody else was like, God who? And God's like, I don't think so, and then it rained, and it rained big time, and yada yada yada, and everyone was like dies, except for like Noah and his family and the fuzzy little animals. And I've always wondered, like, was Noah even thinking when he let spiders and like snakes and stuff on the boat? That was so lame, But anyway, then Noah's family, like, they did the complete rugrat thing again, and yada yada yada. And then Abraham was born, and this was like the complete dude who lived near Kuwait then. And then so God told Abe to move to Israel, and God told Abe that this land was his forever and ever, and made him promise to do the whole rugrat thing all over again. And yada yada yada, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph.
So this is like 2000 BC, and there's Joseph, and Joseph's brothers really like, I think Joseph's a total dork. Tell him to be a slave in Egypt. I wonder if you can still do that today. Anyway, eventually everybody in the whole world runs out of food, and Joseph has it all. He became like, the Ronald McDonald of Egypt. His whole family figures he's not such a total dork after all, and they move in with him. And of course, they do that whole rugrat thing again. And yada, 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 yada. And now there's 1 million or 2 Jews in Egypt. Anyway, Joseph's family, the Jews, somehow they all wound up being slaves in Egypt. Until this guy Moses comes along and goes, I don't think so. Pharaoh Fawcett, who was like the major dude in Egypt. I think he was called. Anyway, Pharaoh got on the bad side of Moses, who was like this big movie star, the special effects guy. And it turned out bad for the Egyptian dudes, like completely.
So the Jews left Egypt and went through the Red Sea, staying totally dry. I so don't know how they did that. I think God had something to do with it. What's his deal? I mean, first he floods them, then he keeps them dry. Whatever. But then they all go, duh, God who? And hang out in the desert for 40 years. Can you imagine what that would do to your complexion? So eventually they wind up back in Israel, the land that God promised to Abraham, except there's other people there now. So this guy Joshua, who's like the Schwarzkopf of the Jews, kicks some serious behind. He'll kill you. And your little dog Toto, too. And I guess, God on their side, because the Jews win big time. And they all go, yay, God! And get back to that whole rugrat thing again. So now we're at about 1400 BC.
so I'm gonna like skip like 400 years. Like nothing happened. I mean, King Tut dies in Egypt and wrote a cool song, and Samson was like Clint Eastwood of Israel. He was like, go ahead. And he totally had this awesome hair. Chinese guy invents multiplication and geometry. And I'm like, thank you very much, major dork. But then in about 1000 BC, this big dude, Goliath, goes, you Jews are a bunch of wimps. This little Jewish sheep boy goes, are not. Goliath goes, are too. And David, he's the sheep guy, goes, are not. And pull out a slingshot and bam! Gets the big ugly dude right between the eyes. And before you know it, the little sheep guy king is king, which is like the all land God promised to the dead guy Abe, and all his rugrats forever and ever.
So David was like this way cool king. One of David's rugrats named Solomon becomes king when David croaks. Solomon was this completely smart dude and built like this totally awesome church, but they called it a temple back then. And Solomon had like hundreds of wives. Can you imagine what his MasterCard bill was like? Anyway, when he died, his sons messed everything up and Israel divided in half. So now we've got like Israel in the north and Judah in the south. One of them is bad and the other is worse. Meanwhile, in the rest of the world, Chinese figure out astronomy, which is so better than geometry. And Homer writes the Odyssey, which is, I guess, like what he did before The Simpsons. So anyway, back to the Jews who were divided between like Israel and Judah. Eventually they were both all, duh, God who? And God's all, I don't think so. And they both got kicked out of the land God promised to Abe and his rugrats forever and ever. And when they were getting booted out, this guy Isaiah, who was like a prophet, told the Jews that God was going to be mad at them for a while, that things would eventually chill, and that God would send them a new savior dude called the Messiah, who would like really solve all their problems forever. But the hard part was that they had to wait like forever.
Anyway, while they were waiting, there's this cool guy, Daniel, who's like a Jewish lion tamer or something, in Babylon. I guess they called it that because the people would just babble on and on about stuff. Don't you hate it when people do that? Aesop becomes like the Mr. Rogers of ancient Greece. Confucius, he makes fortune cookies in China. I'm not sure, but I think he makes up stuff to put on little pieces of paper and cookies to make them sell better. You know, I don't think they taste that. So anyway, back to the Jews. A bunch of them come back to Jerusalem in about 450 BC. They're like building a new temple and a big wall. They hang out waiting and waiting and waiting for this Messiah guy. I mean, what's his problem? They've been waiting for like 300 years. No joke. While they're waiting, Greece decides it's really hot stuff. You know, those guys, Socrates, Aristotle, Plato. Oh, I so love that clay stuff he invented. Especially now, we like make really cool animals. I can totally make a radical snake. Anyway, next person.
Anyway, the Greeks get a little cocky, and before you know it, this Roman guy named Julius Caesar takes over the world and gets appointed like emperor for life, and god of everything, and maker of all salads. Caesar salad. Get real. I mean, can you believe it? He's all, bow down and worship me, you mortal peons. Anyway, some of his buds are all, I don't think so, and go like, Mr. Caesar, meet Mr. Knight. But Rome was still ruling the world like a big dog. Even Israel, which God promised to that Jewish guy Abe and his rugrats forever and ever. Of course, the Jews are getting totally ticked at the Romans for making their life miserable. And they're wondering about God because that Messiah dude hasn't showed. And it's been like over 700 years since Isaiah said he was going to come. So the Jews are totally hoping the Messiah will come and be all, I don't think so, to the Romans. Then the Jews will be like completely the big dogs for a while. So then, the Romans made Herod the great king of Judea. What is it with this the great stuff? And then a Jewish girl named Mary gets engaged to Joseph. And they have a baby boy who turns out to be the Messiah in a barn on Christmas Eve. Wouldn't you hate to have a birthday on Christmas? That would be so not fun. I mean, a rip-off, big time. You know you're only going to get half as many presents. Anyway, that's the birth of Christ. And that's it. Because of him, everything turned out good. Totally.